There's a paradox that governs human attraction. The more desperately you chase something, the faster it runs away. The more you need it, the more elusive it becomes. But the moment you stop chasing, when you become complete within yourself, everything you ever wanted begins to move toward you. This isn't mystical thinking. It's psychology. It's energy. It's the fundamental law of attraction operating at its deepest level. Today, we'll explore 10 powerful ways to attract peace, power, and people without ever chasing them. Because true magnetism doesn't come from pursuit. It comes from presence. Before we dive into the 10 ways, let's understand what we're really talking about. When someone enters a room and everyone notices, not because they're loud or demanding attention, but because they carry something different, that's magnetic presence. It's the quality that makes people want to be around you, opportunities to find you, and peace to settle into your life naturally. This presence isn't built on what you do. It's built on who you are. And who you are is determined by your relationship with yourself. The first way to attract without chasing is to become comfortable with silence, both in conversation and in solitude. Most people are terrified of silence. They fill every pause with words, every moment with noise, every space with activity. This desperation for stimulation actually repels what they're trying to attract. But when you can sit in silence without discomfort, something powerful happens. You become a calm presence in a chaotic world. People are drawn to those who don't need to fill every moment with chatter. They're attracted to the rare person who can listen without immediately responding, who can be present without performing. In relationships, this means you don't feel compelled to text constantly or fill every pause in conversation. You're comfortable with the natural rhythms of human interaction. In solitude, this means you can be alone without feeling lonely. You don't need constant entertainment or validation. You've learned to enjoy your own company. This comfortable silence creates space. Space for others to reveal themselves. Space for opportunities to emerge. Space for peace to settle. When you master silence, you become magnetic because you offer something rare, the gift of presence without pressure. The second way is to become emotionally self-sufficient. This doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means not needing others to regulate your emotional state. Most people are emotional vampires without realizing it. They need others to make them feel good, to validate their worth, to manage their moods. This neediness is deeply unattractive and repels the very connection they seek. But when you can generate your own emotional stability, you become a source of energy rather than a drain. You don't need someone else to make you happy. You're already happy. You don't need external validation. You validate yourself. You don't need others to fix your problems. You're capable of handling your own life. This self-sufficiency is incredibly attractive because it signals that a relationship with you would be a choice, not a necessity. It would add to someone's life rather than burden it. People are drawn to those who enhance their experience rather than demand their emotional labor. When you stop needing others to complete you, you become someone others want to be around. You attract people who are also emotionally mature and self-sufficient. This creates relationships based on mutual enhancement rather than mutual need, which are the only relationships that truly last. The third way is to develop standards that come from within, not from external approval. Most people's standards are constantly shifting based on what others think, what's popular, or what's convenient. This inconsistency creates chaos in their lives and repels both peace and quality people. But when you have unshakable inner standards, values that you live by regardless of external circumstances, you become a pillar of stability in an unstable world. These standards aren't about being perfect or rigid. They're about knowing what you will and won't accept in your life, and living according to those principles consistently. You don't compromise your values for temporary gain. You don't lower your standards to fit in. You don't change who you are based on who you're with. This consistency creates a powerful magnetic field around you. People know what to expect from you. They trust you because you're reliable. They respect you because you respect yourself. Your unwavering standards also filter out the wrong people and opportunities while attracting the right ones. You don't have to chase quality. It recognizes and is drawn to quality. When you live by your standards, you attract people who share similar values and opportunities that align with your principles. The fourth way is to master strategic detachment, caring deeply while holding lightly. This is perhaps the most difficult concept to grasp, but it's crucial for attraction without chasing. Strategic detachment means being fully engaged with life while not being attached to specific outcomes. You put in your best effort, you care deeply about what you do, but you don't cling to results. In relationships, this means you can love someone deeply while not being possessive. You can care about someone while not trying to control them. You can invest in connection while not being desperate for it. In your career, this means you can work hard for success while not being destroyed by setbacks. You can pursue goals while not being attached to the timeline or specific form they take. This detachment isn't indifference, it's freedom. It's the freedom to act from love rather than fear, from abundance rather than scarcity. When you practice strategic detachment, you become incredibly attractive because you're not needy. You're not grasping. You're not desperate. You're free, and freedom is magnetic. People are drawn to those who can engage without clinging, who can care without controlling, who can love without possessing. The fifth way is to become a genuine source of positive energy in the world. This isn't about being fake or perpetually cheerful. It's about cultivating a deep wellspring of positivity that comes from inner peace and self-acceptance. Most people are energy neutral at best and energy drains at worst. They complain constantly, focus on problems, and spread negativity wherever they go. Being around them is exhausting. But when you become a source of positive energy, you become someone people want to be around. You lift others up by your presence. You make people feel better about themselves and their lives. This positive energy comes from several sources. Gratitude for what you have, rather than focusing on what you lack. Optimism about the future, rather than dwelling on past failures. Compassion for others, rather than judgment and criticism. When you walk into a room, people should feel lighter, not heavier. When you leave, they should feel energized, not drained. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend everything is perfect. It means you approach challenges with a constructive mindset and maintain your inner light even in difficult times. Positive energy is contagious and magnetic. It attracts opportunities, draws people to you, and creates an environment where peace can flourish. The sixth way is to master the power of being fully present in every moment. In our distracted world, genuine presence has become a superpower. Most people are physically present, but mentally elsewhere, thinking about their phones, their problems, their next task. But when you can be fully present with someone, you give them something rare and valuable: your complete attention. This presence makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. It creates instant connection and attraction because it's so uncommon. Presence means listening without planning your response. Looking at people when they speak, not at your phone. Being aware of your surroundings without being distracted by them. Focusing on the current moment rather than past or future. When you master presence, you become magnetic because you offer something everyone craves but rarely receives: the feeling of being truly seen and heard. This presence also brings peace into your own life because you're no longer constantly mental time traveling. You're here, now, fully engaged with life as it unfolds. The seventh way is to develop genuine self-confidence that doesn't depend on external validation. True confidence isn't about thinking you're better than others or having an inflated ego. It's about having a realistic understanding of your strengths and weaknesses and being comfortable with both. It's about knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you, not because you're invincible, but because you're adaptable and resilient. This confidence shows up in subtle ways. You don't apologize for taking up space. You don't need to prove yourself to others. You can admit mistakes without it destroying your self-image. You're comfortable with both praise and criticism. This kind of confidence is incredibly attractive because it's stable and real. It doesn't fluctuate based on circumstances or other people's opinions. When you have genuine self-confidence, you don't chase validation or approval. You don't need others to make you feel worthy. You already know your worth. This inner knowing creates a magnetic field around you. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin and confident in their own abilities. The eighth way is to practice selective vulnerability, being open and authentic while maintaining appropriate boundaries. Many people make the mistake of either being completely closed off or oversharing with everyone. Both approaches repel connection. Selective vulnerability means you're genuine and real, but you share your depth with those who have earned it. You are not performing perfection, but you're not dumping your problems on everyone either. This creates intrigue and attraction because people sense your depth, but know they have to earn access to it. It makes them want to get closer to you. You share your struggles and imperfections, but in a way that shows growth and self-awareness, rather than seeking pity or rescue. This vulnerability creates real connection because it allows others to see you as human while still maintaining your strength and dignity. When you practice selective vulnerability, you attract people who are also emotionally mature and capable of handling real intimacy. The ninth way is to become primarily internally motivated rather than externally driven. Most people are constantly looking outside themselves for motivation, validation, and direction. They need others to push them, praise them, or tell them what to do. But when you become internally motivated, you become independent and self-directed. You don't need others to keep you going. You have your own inner drive. This internal motivation comes from clear personal values and goals, intrinsic satisfaction from your work and relationships, a sense of purpose that comes from within, the ability to motivate yourself without external pressure. This self-direction is incredibly attractive because it signals that you're not going to be a burden on others. You're not going to need constant encouragement or management. People are drawn to those who have their own fire, their own drive, their own reason for being. When you're internally motivated, you attract opportunities and people who respect your independence and want to support your journey rather than carry you. The 10th and final way is to cultivate authentic indifference to outcomes while maintaining deep care for the process. This is the ultimate paradox of attraction. The less you need something, the more likely you are to get it. But this isn't fake indifference or playing hard to get. It's genuine detachment that comes from knowing you'll be okay regardless of what happens. You care deeply about doing your best, treating people well, and living according to your values. But you're not attached to specific outcomes because you know you can handle whatever comes. This authentic indifference is magnetic because it shows incredible inner strength and stability. People are drawn to those who are unshakable, who don't need them to be happy. In relationships, this means you enjoy people's company without needing their presence. You appreciate connection without being desperate for it. In your career, this means you work hard without being attached to specific results. You're willing to succeed or fail with equal grace. This indifference creates space for miracles to happen because you're not desperately clutching at outcomes. Here's what happens when you embody these 10 ways. You stop chasing peace, and peace settles into your life naturally because you've created the conditions for it. You stop chasing power, and power flows to you because you're not desperate for it and can therefore be trusted with it. You stop chasing people, and the right people are drawn to you because you're not needy and can therefore offer genuine value. This isn't magic. It's psychology. It's the natural result of becoming someone who is complete within themselves. When you're whole, you attract wholeness. When you're peaceful, you attract peace. When you're powerful, you attract power. The universe responds to your energy, not your actions. And the energy of someone who has stopped chasing is incredibly attractive. To develop these qualities, you need consistent practice. Start each day with silence, even just 5 minutes of sitting quietly without distractions. Check in with your emotional state regularly and take responsibility for managing it yourself. Make decisions based on your values rather than external pressures. Practice being present in every interaction, no matter how brief. Build your confidence through small, consistent actions that align with your values. Share yourself authentically, but selectively, earning deeper connections over time. Find your internal motivation and nurture it daily. Let go of attachment to specific outcomes while maintaining commitment to the process. When you embody these qualities, you don't just attract peace, power, and people. You become someone worthy of them. You become the person you would want to be around. You become the energy you want to experience. You become the peace you want to feel. And in becoming that person, you discover that you never needed to chase anything at all. Everything you ever wanted was waiting for you to stop running toward it and start being worthy of it. The chase ends when you realize you already have everything you need within yourself. And that's when the real attraction begins. Stop chasing. Start being. Stop seeking. Start becoming. Stop running toward what you want and start embodying what you want to attract. The world is waiting for the real you, the you who doesn't need to chase because you've already arrived. That person is magnetic. That person is powerful. That person is at peace. And that person is who you become when you stop chasing and start being.